Hey everyone, this is Flynn. In this video I'm going to show you some progress I've made on AI, specifically AI movement. And so the way I can comprehend AI to be is two aspects for my game. One, there's decision making, like how is the computer going to decide where to move one of these guys? That's probably the most difficult part of the AI, I think. The second part was implementing a move, right? Like, once this AI has decided, well, hey, I want to move as close as possible toward this objective, or I want to move as close as possible to one of these guys, or I want to move toward the middle. Like, after you've decided to make a movement in a certain direction or toward a certain point, the next part is kind of implementing that move, right? Now, me, as a human being, I can select one of my guys, click move, and I know I can move here, anywhere in this radius, right? Now, the computer, they're not like us, right? They can't just pick this guy and be like, oh, where can I move? Obviously, I can't move on top of this guy. I can't move on top of this guy. And if I had some terrain pieces, which I will add later in the other games, you can't move on top of other objects. Even this objective right here, you cannot move on top of that. I prevent you from doing that. So I know that because things are highlighted red. My creature's highlighted red, but the computer does not know that. So how do you reconcile that? And I'll show you in a bit how I did it, but that's one problem I solved right now. I think I'm comfortable with that. Then the next problem is the decision making, like where is this guy going to decide to move? And you really want to choose the most optimized, most rational choice, even better than a human actually sometimes. Otherwise the AI is going to be so dumb and not fun to play against. But I just want to show you right now. Right now I have the decision making for the AI to be, it's going to move toward this objective or any close objective, and then it's going to position itself close to an enemy as well. So one of these guys, they're all actually going to go toward this objective. So that's right. That's clever enough right now. And then, it's not good enough to be near the objective. You want to be as close on top of the objective and still close to an enemy to maybe attack it, right? You don't want to be over here, You want to be closer to here to attack or do some offensive stuff against the enemy. So here, I'm just going to end my movement phase right now, and you can see the magic work. And I had to pause the AI for a minute, because right now that's how I have it visually looking. When you're playing against an AI, I could have everything instantly where it just happens so fast that it's kind of awkward. But I had to slow it down a bit, just for the game purposes. Here's my guy here. Let's try to grab this objective here. So I fail, and as you saw in the last video, this is disarm the bomb. Player one's going to end their phase, and now look, the AI is going to move over here now because they're like, hey, it's not stupid, knows that this objective is gone. Here are two more objectives. So let me move this guy over here. So now I am close to here. Oh, there we go. This guy's going to move toward here, moving this over here. This guy's moving over here. And see, he's not stupid. He wants to get on that objective, So I think this AI so far is okay for these types of games. These guys are really going to crash right into these objectives because that's how you win these games, objectives. But, it's still going to try to attack the enemy. And so I'm going to end my phase right now. And so that was a little treat into the next video where the AI, I have programmed the AI to do abilities as well. But I will say that for next video. So this guy already, I tried to attempt to cast his either Eagle Sight or, yeah, it looked like Eagle Sight on himself. He failed. So that's what I wanted to show you so far as the AI movement. I do want to show you one more thing here. Let me go into my Unity editor here, and I want to show you kind of how I did this movement, implementing the movement. So this is after a AI decided to move somewhere. The circle will pop up, right? And I don't know if you saw that. Keep looking. You'll see all these little, something pops up here in the circle. Right, so what I actually have and how I program this is, so they're going to move toward a direction, right? But they can only move within the boundaries of their circle. So what I do is populate the circle with a whole bunch of little capsules, a number amount of objects that fill in that circle that are roughly the same size of this. They can be a little bit smaller because they can overlap because I want, good precision. But what happens is they're going to fill that circle, at least the part edge of the circle. So we have a whole bunch of little capsules with colliders I created. And so what will happen is those colliders will pop. I have it set where if it's colliding with anything that I don't want to collide with, like a terrain piece, an objective, or an enemy, or even a friendly creature, those capsules will pop. And so again, those capsules are roughly the same size as the creature that's moving. So when those capsules, I give it a second or two, and then I look at how many capsules are remaining. Okay, and then I say, hey, which capsule is the closest toward my intended destination? Right? You might say I might pick a point here to be the closest intended destination, and it's gonna pick a capsule that's closest to this point. So the point of all this I'm trying to show you is how I program the implementation of movement, not the decision of movement, but just, hey, I've decided to go somewhere. Where in my circle can I actually move? That's not, going to be blocked by terrain. And then, after a couple seconds when all those capsules have popped, I look at the ones that remain, and then it's like that is a valid space to move in. And I can be ensured that I'm not going to move on top of my guy. I'm not going to move on top of an enemy or an objective. It works pretty good, and that's pretty much how the AI movement is in my game. So I like that so far. It doesn't take much processing. The next step would be, as I progress in my game, since movement is very critical, is to fine-tune the decision-making itself. Like, where exactly should I place a guy, Like, you need to move in an optimal manner, and that's where that's going to be part of the trickiness of the AI. But, okay, so the next video I'm going to show you how to implement abilities in AI.